Hi, everybody, and welcome to this week's Dice TV Google Hangout. I'm Mark Feffer, the managing editor of Dice News, and with me this week is Don Kawamoto, our associate editor based in Silicon Valley. Hello, Don.
Hi, Mark. How's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Oh, pretty good.
So this week we're going to talk about a couple of things, or a few things that are going on in the world of tech jobs. I wanted to start with IBM. I'm sorry, Hewlett-Packard, and their announcements that that their layoffs could vary by 15% from what they announced a couple of years ago. They had said that they were going to cut about 29,000 jobs from their global workforce. But when they're talking about it varying from 15%, does that mean 50% lower or 50% higher?
My bet is it's going to be on the higher range for that 15%. And the reason why is when you look at like the 15%, they had 29,000 people that they were projecting to lay off by October 2014. And currently they've already cut like 22,700. So they're very, very far into their job cuts. And so if you look at the 15% figure off of the 29,000, on the high end, that would put about 33,500 jobs are looking to cut. You know, if it had been 15% on below the 29,000, that would put it about 24, almost 25,000 jobs. Well, they're pretty close to hitting that mark already. And they have a whole another year to go. So it sounds like they're thinking they're going to need more time, or they're going to have a lot more people that they're going to be cutting within that 1 year, because they're already so close to hitting the low end of that mark that they really wouldn't have needed to put that in their second quarter announcement that it could go 15% higher.
Let's talk about BlackBerry. They laid off 60 salespeople this past week, and that's, I think, about it's a pretty big number. Was it 50% of their sales force?
I think somewhere around that percentage, yeah.
So it's just the latest round of layoffs. It looks like if BlackBerry is going to survive, it's going to have to be through a sale. Do you think this is all setting themselves up to be attractive to a buyer?
Yeah, BlackBerry said that they have a committee to look for strategic options, and that being one is the sale of the company. And often when companies are putting themselves on the market to be sold, they want to make themselves look as pretty as possible for any prospective buyer. And so one way is slash those costs, slash the expenses, and often expenses are largely people, their employees. So I think, that if they can just find a buyer who is a company that wants to get into the mobile space, doesn't have any kind of mobile operating system that they're using, they're not using Android, they're not using Windows, or iOS, so then if they can find a company where they totally don't have any kind of mobile presence and want to have a smartphone, as their entry into the mobile space, then I'd have to say for BlackBerry employees that would be the best kind of buyer that they can hope their company will find, because it probably means that those people would have a greater chance of being retained.
Okay, and, here's hoping, for that and for some good news. Let me ask you one more question. You did a story about someone who was basically taking their resume and spamming it to potential employers. He bought he bought a list. Blasted it out. Are a lot of people doing that?
People have been known. It's not totally unheard of that people will take their resume and then just blast it out to a bunch of prospective employees. What makes this guy a little bit rare is that he actually purchased a spam list to do this. And it just happened that one of the companies he ended up spamming was a security company who is all about monitoring spam. They have a research arm as well called the Fancy Internet storm. But anyway, so he ends up, catching them in terms of the spam, and there was some dialogue going back and forth between uh, the person from Sands and this prospective job applicant. And the job applicant had to be, well, look, I was being creative. But I don't think that a lot of employers would view it that way. What was kind of surprising, according to Sands, is that in checking his social media site, is that he posted how he had been hired like 4 weeks after doing this. Whether or not he was being truthful or not on the social media is one thing, but it just, it kind of, hopefully it doesn't have people start jumping on this whole concept of getting spam lists to send out the resumes. Because, career experts say that is like the worst thing you can really do to attract an employer. Ideally, when you're putting together your resume, you need to kind of tailor it to the position, like taking your existing skill sets and taking those skill sets that are applicable to the job that you're applying for and really highlighting that in your resume. And that's what career experts are saying. And so doing the one-size-fits-all resume and spamming it out is not the way to go.
Yeah, and it's not really clear that the job he eventually got, that he got it through this, is it?
Right, exactly. So,
Yeah,
so
I think you said, I'm sorry. I think you said in your story that that this kind of brought bad ideas to new heights.
Exactly, it sure does.
Well, listen, Don. Thanks for talking.
Sure, glad to be here. Thanks.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
All right.
That's it for this week. Join us again next week for our next hangout. And until we see you then, I'm Mark Feffer, the managing editor of Dice News. I've been here with Don Kawamoto, our associate editor in Silicon Valley, and thanks for watching.